Hey everyone, welcome back to Gloomhaven enhanced with Lego bricks. I'm going to try for my second attempt at the Crypt of the Damned. In the previous episode, I failed the scenario, and at the time I thought I was just going to heal up and then run the scenario again, but I think I'm actually going to go back to Gloomhaven first. The main reason why I want to go back to Gloomhaven is I found out that if I donate 10 gold to the Sanctuary of the Great Oak, which is a temple/hospital in the town, I can add 2 Bless cards to my deck for each character's deck for the next scenario. And Bless cards give a 2 times bonus to your attack. So I think that would be beneficial. And I do have 10 gold on each character. That leaves my Spellweaver down to 16 gold. And my Brute is down to 6 gold. So 2 Bless cards in each deck. I'll shuffle those in there. So now my deck has 22 cards instead of 20. So not only do I have a greater chance of drawing a 2 times card, I have a smaller chance of drawing the null card. Now these Bless cards will get taken out after the scenario. And if I draw them during the scenario, they get removed from the deck. So they're not perpetual. If I draw them, they're done and they get taken out. While I'm in Gloomhaven, I'm going to run another city event. As you shop for supplies at the sinking market, your hand instinctively goes for the purse at your waist. It's gone. You quickly scan the crowd and see a small vermling darting away from you, heading directly toward a sewer grating. Option A, give chase. No one steals from you and gets away with it. Option B, take a clear shot at him with a bow before he disappears into the grating. I'm going to go with option B because I don't want to lose any gold, and I'm assuming if I do this, I will stop him. You raise your bow and take aim at the thief. A woman screams, but you try not to let it faze you. As the vermling pauses to open the grate, you fire the arrow and see the furry figure drop. You smile and go to retrieve your gold from the corpse. You get a lot of dirty looks, though. Apparently firing a bow on a crowded street is frowned upon. Lose 1 reputation. So I only have a reputation of 0, so I'm now down to -1. That concludes my business in the town of Gloomhaven. I'm now going to re-travel back to Crypt of the Damned, and in doing so I need to run another road event. So I'll draw the next card from the top of the deck. Heading down the main road, you see an odd-looking wagon in front of you. It's covered in metal bars, and a number of ragged men in chains walk behind it. On either side of the wagon, you see city guards on horseback, keeping a watchful eye on everything. You get closer, and one of the guards calls out to you, "Keep your distance. We are transporting dangerous criminals." A moment later, one of the prisoners in back slips out of his manacles and begins to sprint full speed into the tall grass. Option A, help the guards catch the escaping man. Option B, interfere with the guards to help the man escape. I'm going to go with option A. There's 2 different outcomes to option A. One is if I have a reputation of less than 4, but I don't, so I'm going to use the otherwise option. The man's speed after spending months in a jail cell is no match for your own. With the help of the guards on horseback, you quickly have him cornered and returned to the wagon. Gain 1 reputation. So I lost 1 reputation and gained 1 reputation. So I'm back up to 0. So again, I've got my Brute and my Spellweaver. The Brute has the Iron Helmet, Minor Healing Potion, and Boots of Striding for his equipment. And the Spellweaver has the Iron Helmet, Cloak of Invisibility, and a Minor Power Potion. So no change from the last scenario in terms of the equipment I'm taking in. Now this time I'm going to remember to give myself battle goals. I've already shuffled the deck. 2 to the Brute, 2 to the Spellweaver. The Brute can pick between Die Hard and Dynamo. Both of these would be very difficult to achieve. I think I'm going to go with Dynamo though. I don't think I can keep my hit points above 5. Spellweaver, Professional, and Explorer. Both of these actually would be achievable, I think, but Explorer is very easy to do. So I'm going to go with Explorer. Starting in the same room again, I did change my position a little bit. I'm going to go with the Brute starting here and the Spellweaver starting here. Again, in this room, there are 3 monsters. There's an Elite Living Bones, there's a Standard Living Bones, and a Standard Archer. And there's two damage traps in this room. But let's see how it goes. Start of round number 1. So Brute goes first. I'm going to use the bottom part of Overwhelming Assault to move 3. I'm going to move behind these guys. 1, 2, 3. And then I got a push of 2, target 1 adjacent enemy. Well, I'm going to push the Archer into the trap. 1, 2. The push can be any, as long as the monster gets further away from me, I can push it any direction I want. So I'm pushing the archer into the 2 damage trap. So immediately the archer takes 2 damage. Then I'm going to use the upper part of Provoking Roar to attack the Living Bones number 6 for an attack of 2 plus 1, so attack of 3. 3 damage to Living Bones number 6. And I disarm Living Bones number 6 till the end of its next turn. And that is the end of my brute's turn. Archer is next. It doesn't need to move because it's within range of its attack, so no movement. And the closest character is the Spellweaver. So it's going to attack the Spellweaver. Oh, this attack is high with a base attack of 3 plus 0. So hits my Spellweaver for 3. Spellweaver's next. I'm going to use the upper part of Flame Strike for an attack of 3, range of 2. So the archer's within my range. -1, attack of 2. That kills the archer. The archer only has 4 health. I feel like this is a bit of a better start. And I'm going to use the bottom part of Mana Bolt to heal myself for 3. So I'm back up to full health. Living Bones is next. Ooh, target 1 enemy with all attacks. So the Living Bones can attack 2 targets. Now luckily, Living Bones number 6 is disarmed. Now the Elite Living Bones is an equal distance away from both characters. So in a case of an equal focus target, it's going to focus on the character that went first in the round. In this case, that's the Brute. So it's got a movement. It can move 2, but it's just going to move 1 to here. And then, it's going to attack my Brute twice. Target 1 enemy with all attacks. But his attack is only 2, so I should be okay. Attack 2 plus 0. So the first attack hits me for 2, down to 8. And then the second attack, -1. So the second attack hits me for 1. That could have been worse. So I think I'm okay with that. And that's the end of the round. No shuffle symbols anywhere. I learned my lesson before. If I get a null or a 2x card in my modifier decks, I'm going to put them somewhere where I can see the shuffle symbol so I know to shuffle it back into the deck. Nobody needs to do a short rest. There's no elements to move. The Living Bones disarm can come off now. Start of round 2. My Brute goes first. I'm going to use the bottom part of Shield Bash to shield myself for 1 this turn. So this is persistent just for this turn. And then the upper part of Leaping Cleave to attack for 3. And I get 1 experience point for using the card. And I can attack both enemies. So I'm going to start with the normal Living Bones because it's already got 3 damage. So only 2 damage will kill Living Bones. Unless I get really unlucky, I should be able to get the normal Living Bones gone here. 2 times. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So that means I hit the Living Bones for 6. And 2 health will kill it. That's 9 total damage on the Living Bones. It has a total health of 5, so it's overkill by 4. So not only do I kill the Living Bones, I immediately have achieved my battle goal. Kill a monster during the scenario by causing at least 4 more points of damage than is necessary. Oh, that's good. And I still have another attack. I'll shuffle this. I'm going to put this, where am I going to put it so I can see the shuffle symbol? I'll put it right there so I can see the shuffle symbol. So my second attack on the Elite Living Bones, attack of 3, -1. So I hit the Elite Living Bones for 2. Elite Living Bones has a health of 6. Next is the Spellweaver. I'm going to use the bottom part of Impaling Eruption 2, 3, to get over to this door, just in front of the door. And I'm going to attack the Living Bones with the upper part of Frost Armor. Attack of 2, range of 3. There's no elements to consume. +1. I hit the Living Bones for 3. Living Bones is down to 1 health. That is great. Living Bones now. Oof. It's going to have a base attack here of 4. And no movement. Doesn't need to move. It's next to the Brute, so it's going to attack the Brute. Attack of 4. Ooh, +1. Hits my Brute for 5. Down to 2 health on the Brute. But that is the end of the round. So shuffle my Brute's deck. The 2 times goes back. Now this 2 times is not one of the blessed cards, it's just the normal 2 times card. So it stays in the deck. Nothing else to clean up. Don't need to do a short rest at all. We're good. Start of round 3. Oh, my shield bash is... Oh. I forgot that I had shield bash and I was shielded for 1, so I'm going to put 1 health back. So instead of getting hit for 5, I only got hit for 4 because I had a shield. And now this is inactive because it was inactive at the end of the round. Got to remember to look at everything to make sure I'm accounting for everything. So my Brute goes first. I'm going to use the bottom part of Spare Dagger for an attack of 2. I'm going to attack the Elite Living Bones and hopefully just get rid of them. Well, 0. That's fine. 2 damage. It's at 5. Max health is 6, so I kill the Elite Living Bones. Then I'm going to use the upper part of Grab and Go to loot the 2 adjacent money tokens next to me. Money's always good. Spellweaver's next. I'm going to use the bottom part of Fire Orbs to move 3. Now my first movement is just going to get me into the door. So I open the door. In doing so, I achieve my battle goal of reveal a room tile by opening a door on your turn. And since I opened the door, I've revealed that room. There's 2 normal banded archers right by the door. 2 normal cultists. I still have 2 movement. I gotta try to be a little bit strategic here. I am gonna get an attack. So to finish my turn, I've got 2 movement left. So 1, 2. I'm gonna go right in the middle of all these guys. Because, this is just sheer luck, I think. I'm gonna use the upper part of Freezing Nova. Attack of 2, target all adjacent enemies. And immobilize. Well, anyway, I get 3 attacks here. So I'm going to attack Bandit Archer number 3 first. Attack of 2, +1. Bandit Archer number 3 gets hit for 3. Second attack, Bandit Archer number 5. Attack of 2, -1. Bandit Archer number 5 gets hit for 1 damage. And then the Cultist, the same thing, attack of 2, +0. So I hit the Cultist for 2 damage. It's Cultist number 3. But before I finish my turn, I'm going to use my Cloak of Invisibility to turn myself invisible. First, I have to put Immobilize on those 3 characters. All 3 of them are immobilized. And now Invisibility on my character until the end of my next turn. Next up is the Archer. They're immobilized so they can't move. My Spellweaver is now invisible. So Archer number 3 would go first, and the only character it can focus on would be my Brute. Now, is my Brute within line of sight? So apart from my Lego walls here, the door is exactly 1 hex wide. So if I went from the corner of this hex, I can see the corner of this one. So technically, that Archer has line of sight to my Brute. Now it's within 1, 2, 3, range of 3. That's the Archer's range. It's a +1 bonus to his attack, and his attack is 3. Ooh, I should have healed my Brute way back, but I should be okay here. So Archer number 3 will attack my Brute with an attack of 4. I hope this is a really good card. -1. Well, still enough damage to kill me though. So hits my Brute for 3. But I have cards in my hand, so to negate the damage, I'm going to just choose to lose 1 card. I'm going to choose to lose Warding Strength. So by doing so, I negate the damage. It's unfortunate, but can't do anything about it now. Next to go is the Cultist. Now the Cultists, they don't move, they don't attack, they just summon normal living bones. Who's going to go first? Cultist number 3 will go first. Summon a normal living bones. Closest hex to an enemy. Now technically he doesn't know the Spellweaver's there, so it doesn't matter. Closest hex will be this one right here. And then the other Cultist, I believe this would be the closest hex. This looks bad. Spellweaver's surrounded, but the Spellweaver is invisible for now. Summoned monsters do not get a turn on the round they're summoned. So living bones don't get a turn. So this is the end of round 3. Cleanup. I thought I saw a shuffle symbol. Yeah, shuffle symbol on the cultist deck. Oof, this actually kind of looked grim. Although both archers are damaged and the one cultist is damaged. Oh, I forgot. Each cultist takes 2 damage. Cultist number 5 takes 2 damage. And then cultist number 3 already had 2 damage. So actually by performing that action, cultist number 3 is gone. That improves the situation a bit. Got 2 cards left on my Spellweaver and 3 on my Brute. Start of round number 4. Spellweaver only has 2 cards. Well, I'm going to back up. I didn't realize how crappy my cards were for the Spellweaver, so even though I started round 4 already, I'm going to do a short rest. This is the end of round 3, and I need to reclaim some of my cards here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. 3, 1, 2, 3. That just gives me more options for round 4. So I definitely need something that's got attack. You know what? These immobilized tokens come off because they would have been only for the archer's last turn. The Brute is first to go. I'm going to use the bottom part of Eye for an Eye for the base movement of 2. I'm going to move into the doorway here. Before I do my top card, because I know I'm going to forget, I'm going to use my minor healing potion to heal myself for 3. So that is now done. Otherwise, I'm going to forget. I'm going to use the upper part of Sweeping Blow to attack 2, but I can target the 2 adjacent enemies. So I'm going to do the archer first. This should get the archer unless I get really unlucky. Bandit archer number 3, attack 2, plus 0. That's fine. It's only got 4 health. It is now gone. And my second attack on Living Bones number 7. Hope for a good one here. Attack 2, plus 2. Hit the Living Bones for 4. And my Brute's turn is done. Spellweaver is next. I'm going to use the upper part of Freezing Nova again. Attack 2. Target all adjacent enemies. Let's start with Bandit Archer number 5. Attack 2. Null. I'm going to leave that out so I know to shuffle it. So the attack on the archer failed, but I still have an attack, but I still immobilize him. So we'll put the immobilize on Bandit Archer number 5. And Living Bones number 7. Attack 2. At least I know there's no more null cards. Plus 1. That'll do it. Living Bones number 7 only needed 1 damage to destroy it. So it's gone. Now I'm going to remember this time it was a summoned character, so there's no money token. I got the bottom part of Mana Bolt. I'm not close enough to heal the Brute, so I can just move. The archer is going to be able to target 2 enemies. It's going to have a negative to its attack though, but it doesn't have a move action. I can't get far enough away. If I move 2, I'll still be within 3 hexes. So actually, I'm still going to move, but I'm going to move just 1, just to get a little bit closer to one of the doors. When the archer attacks me, it'll have disadvantage. And that's the end of my turn. Actually, Living Bones goes next. It's going to move. Its base movement is 2, but it has a bonus to movement. Well, we got 1, 2, 1, 2. So both characters are within the movement range equally, 2 hexes away. In which case then the Living Bones is going to attack on whichever character went first. In that case, it's the Brute. So 1, 2. It'll attack the Brute with a -1. So its base attack is 1 minus 1, so 0. So it comes down to the modifier, plus 0. So actually that's good. No damage. Now the archer's next. It can attack both enemies, but it has a -1 on its attack. So its base attack is 3 minus 1, 2. Let's attack the Brute first. -1 hits the Brute for 1. And now attack the Spellweaver, but since it's a ranged attack and it's in melee range of the Spellweaver, it's going to get disadvantage. So you got to draw 2 cards and take the worst. So base attack of 2, either +1 or null. Well, null is worse. So no damage to the Spellweaver. That is probably the best I could have hoped for there. Cultist. Cultist again doesn't do anything but summon another Living Bones. So, and the closest hex would be again right there. And in doing so, it takes 2 damage. So Cultist is gone. Archer is no longer immobilized. Brute only has 1 card. Spellweaver's got lots of cards. Okay, end of round 4 cleanup. I need to shuffle the Spellweaver's deck because I drew the null card. I hope I draw one of those blessed cards, because otherwise I wasted 10 gold for nothing. Well, the good news is I only got 3 monsters left. No more monsters can be summoned. I gotta shuffle the monster deck. Okay, I need to do a short rest on the brute. So I'm gonna lose one of these cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. Roll my 8-sided die. 3. Lose that one, whatever it is. Didn't even look, don't care. Spellweaver is still good for cards. Spellweaver is no longer... Actually, the Spellweaver, I forgot to remove the invisibility from the Spellweaver. But the Spellweaver was not invisible when the Archer attacked. Gotta remember that. Look at everything. Look at everything. That is the end of round 4. Okay, start of round number 5. The Living Bones actually is going to go first. But they don't attack. They just have shield and heal. But neither one of them has any damage. So I just gotta remember they have a shield. So effectively their health is 6 this round because of that shield. But that's the end of their turn because they don't attack. Next is my Brute. Well, that kind of changes my strategy a bit here. I'm going to use the bottom part of Shield Bash just for the movement of 2. And actually, I'm going to move over onto this money tile right here. Then I'm going to use the upper part of Spare Dagger, attack of 3, range of 3, and I'm going to attack the Archer. Attack of 3, -1. So I hit the Archer for 2. Archer's down to 1 health. And I get 1 experience point for using that card. Next is the Spellweaver. I'm going to use the upper part of Frost Armor just for the attack of 2. Not the ranged attack, just the base attack. And I'm going to attack the Archer just to try to get rid of the Archer. Well, I drew one of my Bless cards. Didn't really need to. I hit the Archer for 4. More than enough to get the Archer. Now this I'm immediately going to remove from my deck. That is helpful. And I'm going to use the bottom part of Reviving Ether to move 4. Now both of these doors are within my range. I think I'm going to open up this door here. So 1, 2, 3 gets me into the door. The door is now open. And I still have 1 movement left, but I'm going to populate that room here first. I'm not going to put the treasure tile there because I've already looted the treasure and I can't loot it again. If you watched the previous episode, there should be a treasure tile right here, but I looted it. It was bad. You can't loot them twice, so I'm not going to put it in there. So the only thing in this room is an elite Earth Demon and a damage trap right there. Draw a card for the Earth Demon. So the Earth Demon is not going to do anything this turn. What to do? Do I move into the room or step out? You know, I think I'm going to step out 1 spot to finish my turn. Earth Demon just has a heal or immobilize targets within a range of 3, but to do that he would have to consume an earth element and there's no earth element, so Earth Demon doesn't do anything. That is the end of round 5. What cleanup do I need to do? These go in my discard. I've got 3 cards left on the Spellweaver, so I don't need to do a rest. The Archer is now out of the game, so I'll remove all this. Well, I feel like I'm doing better because I went 21 rounds, or 20 or 21 rounds in the last. And that's pretty much the limit of what you can do before you run out of cards completely. So being at round 5, I feel like I'm in a much better position to actually finish, barring a little bit of bad luck. No conditions to be removed, no elements to be moved. Should be good. Start of round 6. All right, who goes first? It is going to be the Brute. I'm going to use the bottom part of Eye for an Eye to move 2. And I'm going to move right between these guys. I'm going to use the upper part of Sweeping Blow to attack both of the Living Bones. And just hope I get a good card. I don't think there's any card I can get that'll let me kill him. I'll attack Living Bones number 6 first, the one right there. Attack 2, 2 times. I'll take it. 4 damage. 4 damage to Living Bones number 6. And that gets removed. And Living Bones number 3, attack of 2, -1, so attack. Living Bones number 3 gets hit for 1. That's the end of the Brute's turn. Spellweaver. Well, best I think I can do here is get rid of Living Bones number 6. So I'm going to use the bottom part of Fire Orbs for the 2 movement, and I'm going to move there. And then the upper part of Flame Strike for an attack of 3, range 2, and attack Living Bones number 6. +1. Well, definitely more than enough. It only had 1 health. It's now got 9 damage. It's only got 5. It's definitely dead. Living Bones number 6 is gone. And again, that was a summon, so there's no money token. He's just gone. There was already money token there from one of the archers. Next is the Earth Demon. He has a move and attack, and his base movement is 2. So 2 + 1, 3. It's just going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. Not in range to attack anybody, so it just moved. I think this is where I failed before. I went to the monsters, but I'm content in this scenario to let the monsters come to me, especially if I haven't done any damage to them, because if they get a heal card, who cares? So I'm just going to keep moving toward that door and let this guy come to me and deal with them when he catches up, I guess. I want to get rid of the Living Bones first, actually. So next is the Living Bones. Now, unfortunately, he has a +2 bonus to his attack. But his base attack's only 1. So he's going to attack the Brute. +0. So he hits the Brute for 3. Well, I got to be careful, though. The Brute only has 2 health now. That is the end. Yeah, that's the end of the round. So that goes to inactive. That's inactive. I need to do a short rest on the Spellweaver. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. I'm going to roll a 6-sided die. 4. Oh, sorry. I have 6 cards. Doesn't matter. Still roll 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Brute. I don't need to do a rest, so I'm good. No shuffle symbols. No conditions. Good. Start of round 7. The Brute goes first. I'm going to use the upper part of Provoking Roar to attack the Living Bones and disarm. So attack of 2 +0. So I hit Living Bones for 2 damage. He's now up to 3 damage, and I disarm the Living Bones. Then we use the bottom part of Grab and Go. It says for a move of 4. I'm just going to move 1 to there. I want to get within a range of 1 of my Spellweaver. That's the end of my turn. Now, Spellweaver and Living Bones are tied. That means the Spellweaver goes next. I'm going to use the upper part of Frost Armor for an attack of 2, range of 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to attack the Living Bones and just hope I get a good card. 2 times. That'll do it. I hit the Living Bones for 4. That Living Bones is gone. Again, no money token. And then I'm going to use the bottom part of Mana Bolt to heal the Brute for 3. So the Brute's up to 5, which is half his total health. Earth Demon is next. They have move and attack. Oh, the attack on this thing is brutal. Crap. Well, we'll see how this goes. Oh, good. Its movement is only 2. 1, 2. So it's not within range to attack, because its attack is 4. Well, I definitely need to get rid of this Earth Demon now. Well, that's the end of round 7. I still feel like I'm doing okay. I need to shuffle this 2 times back into the deck, because it's not a Bless card, it's just the 2 times card. Both characters, I think, should do a... No, Spellweaver doesn't need a short rest. The Brute, I have 2 cards, but if I get hit and it kills me, I need to have at least 1 card in my hand to absorb the damage. So I'm going to do a short rest on my Brute. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. Again, 6-sided die. 3. Got to remember I've got this Iron Helmet, and I still have the Power Potion on the Spellweaver. Good, no conditions. Nope. Start of round number 8. Goal is to get rid of that Earth Demon. He's got a health of 10. My Brute goes first. I'm going to use the bottom part of Shield Bash just to move 2. move to there. And the upper part of Provoking Roar for an attack of 2 and a disarm. So attack of 2, +1. I hit 3 damage to the Earth Demon. And more importantly, I disarm him. Spellweaver's next. So I'm going to use the upper part of Flame Strike for an attack of 3. Range of 2. He's within range. +0. So I hit him for 3. He's now up to 6 damage. I'm going to put a 5 token there and get rid of 2. So he's only got 4 health left. That's good. And then the bottom part of Ride the Wind, I could move for 2, but I think I'm going to stay where I am. That goes my discard. Earth Demon's turn. Well, he could move, but he doesn't need to, although he's disarmed. Now, here's the question again. He's disarmed so he can't attack, but would he still move into position to attack the most enemies that he could? Probably. So I'm going to say, because his card says that he could attack all those hexes, I'm going to go ahead and move him to where he could attack if he wasn't disarmed. If anybody's watching this and you know the answer to that, if they're disarmed, would they move to get into range of attack? I think they still would. Although they only move in order to attack, so if they can't attack, would they move? That's the question. Anyway, I moved him anyway. And he's disarmed, so he can't attack. That's great. And that's the end of the round. No shuffle symbols, I can take the disarm now off of the Earth Demon. Spellweaver only has 2 cards. Brute is good. Again, in case I get crushed with an attack, I should probably do a short rest on the Spellweaver. Spellweaver has 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. I roll my 4-sided die. 4. So I'm down to 5 cards on the Spellweaver. So this is getting pretty tight. Start of round 9. My Spellweaver goes first. I'm going to use the bottom part of Mana Bolt to heal the Brute for 3. Use him with a range of 1. And then I'm going to use the upper part of Freezing Nova to attack for 2. +0. He takes 2 damage. He's now up to 8 damage. He's only got 2 health left. And that's the end of the Spellweaver's turn. Brute. I'm going to use the upper part of Trample for an attack of 3. 2 times. Well, hit him for 6. I definitely got rid of him. He's only had 2 health left. And now this Bless has to be taken out of the deck. So Earth Demon's gone. Well, that makes me feel better. And then I still have the bottom part of Spare Dagger, which I'm just going to use for the movement of 2 and just start making my way toward that door. And I'll end on a money token, so that's good. Okay, that was the end of round 9. No conditions, no elements, no shuffle symbols. Still have a decent amount of cards. We're good to go. Start around 10. There are no monsters, so I don't need to draw a card. So my Spellweaver is going to go first. I'm going to use the bottom part of Frost Armor as a persistent effect. On the next 2 sources of damage, suffer no damage instead. And that's going to put the Frost element into the element table. I'm going to use the bottom part of Reviving Ether to move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I forgot, last turn I was sitting on a token, so I get that money. Same thing with the Brute, actually. The Brute was sitting on a token too, I get that money. I'm right by the door. Actually, where was I? I was back here. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3. I'm going to move to here. I can't open the door anyway, so I might as well get another money token. Now the Brute. I'm going to be super bold, I think. I'm going to use the bottom part of Grab and Go for a move of 4, but I'm also going to use my Boots of Striding to get an additional 2 movement. So I get 6 movement total. 3 gets me to the door, so I'm going to do that first. 1, 2, 3 into the door. I still have a movement of 3, but since I opened the door, I got to populate that room now. And there's a lot going on in there. There's a treasure chest, 3 stone columns, 2 damage traps. There are 2 normal wind demons and 1 cultist. 3 money tokens. After populating that room, I get to finish my turn. I still have a movement of 3. Ooh. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3 over here. Right next to that Wind Demon, because the Wind Demon's attack is ranged. But now I'm going to be a bit bold here. I'm going to use the upper part of Overwhelming Assault, and I'm going to lose the card if I do this. But I'm going to attack that Wind Demon for 6. Because it only has a health of 3, but with a shield, so essentially a health of 4. So unless I get really unlucky, this should take out that Wind Demon. 2 times! Oh, I am getting luckier with the cards this round. I hit him for 12. That is much more than I need. I would have achieved my battle goals like 3 times this scenario, because I've really devastated a couple monsters. So that Wind Demon didn't even have a chance. He's gone. And that's the end. I lose that card. That's the end of my turn. The next thing to act will be the Wind Demon. There's 1 Wind Demon left. Base movement of 3. So it will move. And the Brute is closer. Now, it's only going to move enough to get within range to attack. It's got a range of 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So it could either move to there or to there. I think it'll move, because the Spellweaver's there, so I think it might move 1, 2 there. So it's kind of closer to both of them. It's within a range of 3. It has an attack of 2. Not too bad. It has an attack of 2 with a pull. So do the attack first. Attack of 2 plus 0 hits my Brute for 2. And it's got a pull of 1. And it's going to pull the Brute closer to the Wind Demon, so it pulls him there, which just happens to be on a money tile. And it puts the air element into the element table. Now the Cultist, base movement of 2, so it will move. So it's actually going to move toward the Brute. And then attack of 1, minus 1, so it does no damage. Probably the best I could have hoped for there. So end of round 10. Cleanup I need to do. I need to shuffle the Brute's deck because I draw the 2 times card. I have a much better feeling about this now. Should be able to finish this off fairly shortly. Wish there was a better way to shuffle these cards. I always feel like I'm not shuffling them well. Both the frost and the air element get down to waning. Brute only has 1 card left, so I need to do a short rest on my Brute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. I'll roll a 6-sided die. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So top card. Spellweaver down to 1 card, so I should do a short rest as well. 3 cards, so I'll roll a 4-sided die for that. 4. 1, 2, 3. Top card. Nothing else, no conditions. I didn't really get a lot of experience this turn. I must have forgotten, maybe. Oh, in fact, I did. I know that I used... Yeah, Overwhelming Assault gave me 2 experience points. I just forgot to collect the 2 experience. I gotta be a little bit more careful with that. So 2 experience for using Overwhelming Assault. Okay, start around number 11. Okay, well I could do that. I could be bold. Now's the time to start using cards that result in losing the card. You know what? If all goes well with the cards I picked, I might be able to get these guys before they act. It all depends on what cards I draw for them. The Brute goes first. I'm going to use the bottom part of Trample. This is kind of a fun ability. Move 4 with a jump. Attack 2. Target all enemies move through. So I'm going to do a bit of dancing around here. I'm going to start by moving into the Cultist for my first movement. Oh, end of the round, I was sitting on a coin. I keep forgetting. I can collect these coins, and I think the Spellweaver as well. So 1 coin for each. Okay, so Brute moves First movement to the cultist. Attack of 2. -1. So I hit the cultist for 1. That gets me 1, 2 to there. Then I'm going to go 3 into the Wind Demon. Attack the Wind Demon for 2. +1. So I hit the Wind Demon for 3, but it's got a shield of 1. So I hit him for 2. And then I'm going to finish my move by being right... Actually, I'll finish right here. So I went 1, 2, 3, 4. And I got 2 experience points for doing that. But I also lose the card. And then for my second card, I'm going to use the upper part of Provoking Roar for an attack of 2 with a disarm. And I'm going to attack the Wind Demon. 2. No. Oh, crap. I could have maybe got rid of him. Well, that's fine. That's the end of the Brute's turn. Spellweaver goes next. I am going to use the bottom part of Ride the Wind for the move of 8 with a jump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll move to there. And I lose that card. I'm immediately going to get rid of it. And then I'm going to use the upper part of Freezing Nova. Attack of 2. Target all adjacent enemies. But I get +1 to attack if I consume the frost element. So I'm going to do that. And might as well, I'm going to use my minor power potion for another +1 to all of my attacks. So my base attack is 4. And I'm going to immobilize. Let's hope. I'm going to attack the cultist first. +1. I hit the cultist for 5. He's toast. He only had 3 health left. Cultist is gone. Now the Wind Demon. Again, attack of 4. -1. So I hit the Wind Demon for 3. It has a shield of 1. So I hit him for 2. But he's only got a health of 3. I just killed the Wind Demon. Just like that. It's done. And that is the end of Spellweaver's turn. And since that's the end of all my characters' turns, that technically is the end of the scenario. I can't play another round just to loot. I'm pretty sure. Double check. Because I'd really love to get that treasure chest. Once the scenario success or failure conditions are triggered, the remainder of the round is played out and then the scenario ends. Yeah. The goal was to kill all the enemies, so that means the scenario is over. I can't loot anymore. But anyway, I'm happy. So I don't need to do any end-round cleanup because it's just done. Although, I gotta read the conclusion text. Conclusion. It is clear that you have disrupted some sort of ritual here. These elemental demons belong on an entirely different plane of existence, but the cultists have somehow managed to pull them through to this one. On the altar in the back room, there is a wealth of scribblings on these rituals. Not all the writing is intelligible, but you get the sense that the crypt is a place of power once used by an ancient civilization. The ancients tapped the power of the elements to enhance their own lives, and while their exact fate is beyond your knowledge, it clearly didn't end well. Among the scripts, you also find notes on a couple other places of power in the area. One appears to see heavy use with the cult, and the other is marked as being overrun by vicious undead. It looks as though you have opportunities to either disrupt more of their work, or get in their good graces by helping to clear out a threat. So 2 new locations are opened up by finishing this scenario: Ruinous Crypt and Decaying Crypt. So I finished this scenario in 11 rounds instead of the 21 that I had before, so that is a good sign. Went much better this time. It did help with the bless cards, I'm sure. All right, tally up. Well, unfortunately, the Spellweaver didn't get any experience. Although, for successfully finishing the scenario, I get 4 bonus experience. So I'm going to tally up the Spellweaver here first. Spellweaver gets 4 experience because you didn't get any experience otherwise. That gets me up to 30. 2 money tokens, conversion rate of 2. So that's 4 gold. I'm up to 20 gold. For the Brute, I have 6 experience plus a bonus of 4, gives me 10. So I'm now up to 41. Gold, I have 4 money tokens. So that is 8 gold. That puts me back up to 14 gold. And both characters received a check mark because they finished their battle goals. For the Brute, he finished the Dynamo battle goal. So I get a check mark, and that gets me 3 check marks total. So I get to pick a perk. I'll decide on that in a minute. For the Spellweaver, I'm also up to 3 check marks, so I also get a perk. Well, the perks are different for the different characters. How about that? For the Brute, I think I'm going to add 1 +3 card. For the Spellweaver, I'm going to add 1 +1 wound card. So it would be +1 and it puts a wound. That's kind of cool. Never hurts to have more beneficial cards in your deck. Now in the Brute's deck, I got to check and see if there was any bless cards left because I have to remove them. Nope. So I add this +3 card to my hand. That's a permanent addition. And then for the Spellweaver, did I have a bless in here? I do. I've got to take that out. And then add my +1 with a wound back in there. Again, that's a permanent addition. Well, that's great. For the 2 locations that I've revealed, I can mark them on the world map. And by putting a sticker on the world map, it lets me know that they're available to be played. So there's 3 locations that are available for me to go to now. There's the Ruinous Crypt, Decaying Crypt, and Inox Encampment. So 3 choices. The Inox Encampment one kind of will progress the story a little bit, but I kind of like to just do this randomly. So 3 locations. I'm going to roll a 6-sided die. 1 to 2, it'll be Inox Encampment. 3 to 4, Ruinous Crypt. And 5 to 6, Decaying Crypt. It's a 5. Let's go to Decaying Crypt next. So I'm going to mark that on my party sheet. Next, Decaying Crypt. Well, that's it for this scenario. Thank you so much for watching this. It was definitely a much better playthrough. I really wish I could have got that treasure chest, though. I can always play this again just to try to get the treasure chest. But onwards and upwards. I'm going to travel back to Gloomhaven first. I don't think there's any equipment I need to buy. I'm just going to have my characters head back to Gloomhaven so I could maybe run another city event. And I can make up my mind if I want to donate again to the Sanctuary of the Great Oak. You know, if I donate multiple times to the Sanctuary, I get to open one of the envelopes in the game, and it kind of reveals a secret, I think. If I donate a total of 100 gold to the Sanctuary of the Great Oak, I can open envelope B. So I've donated 20 gold so far. I don't know what envelope B is. I'm so happy I got through this one. Each time I play, I learn a little bit more, and I feel I'm getting more confident with the characters and their abilities. I'm definitely happy I got a perk and added those cards to the deck. That's going to help out for sure. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of the game so far in the comments. If you have any suggestions of how I could better spruce up my arrangement or add more Lego elements to the game, please let me know. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.